What's good, y'all? It's me, Croc Thrasher, back with another video. Today we've got a discussion video, and today's topic will be what is the best element in Monster Hunter Wilds. So if you like what you see here, be sure to like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you hate my voice, be sure to express all your freedoms in the comments section in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So my plan for this video has shifted somewhat. I'm going to do a tier list instead and rate the best elements in my opinion. It'll be quicker that way, and I can get my point across easier that way, and you can get a more visual representation of what I think. So the first element that we have here is fire. Fire is not too bad. Fire, it doesn't have like an innate effect. Most of the effects here, I feel like fire is like most of the elements are just like damage additors. You know what I mean? Instead of like actually being like fire having like a burn effect, or water having like a monster slows down effect, or thunder, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have like an effect like a status would. I would like it to have like an effect, but it doesn't. So most of these elements here are like most of the actual like damage type elements: water, fire, thunder, ice, dragon. Most of them are solid, but I'm gonna have to put some low. But fire, I think fire is B because it's completely average. There's a lot of weak monsters who are very weak, very acceptable to fire. Like the beginning monster, he's mainly weak to thunder, but he's really weak to fire too. From what I tested, the only low rank monster that's not weak to fire is Quimitrice, but like I said, it's a low rank monster, so it's like whatever. Water is the next status and or element. I'm gonna put it at B. I'm gonna put it a little bit higher than fire, only because fire, like I said, fire. Most monsters are like 1-star to fire, and the in-game monsters, the only in-game monster that's weak to fire somewhat is Gore Magala, from what I remember. And like the hit zone values right now are kind of like bad right now, so if you use fire, you might not be doing as much damage as you would think. That's because the people have speculated that the hit zone values on the monsters aren't really that good. For instance, like like Gore Magala, for example, like he's like 1 or 2-star weak to fire, when it should be like a 3-star on the certain pieces, right? Or even a 4-star, right? It should be like a 3 or 4-star. Like he should be really weak to fire, but he's not. He's not extremely acceptable to fire, but you will do more damage on the element, but it's not as much as you would think. Water, on the other hand, water is in the same boat, but there's a lot more monsters that are weak to it, like Fulgur Anjanath, Quimitrice, that's a low rank monster, a Jerrican, New Ultra, weak to water, Gravios, Yankatku, and I probably already said Fulgur Anjanath, but yeah, that's a more like better list of monsters that are weak to that element. They're about the same. About to say, you can probably interchange this if you want, but I would have this. Now for the thunder element, I'm gonna put thunder element in A. There's a lot of monsters that are weak to the thunder element, and that's why I'm gonna put it in A, because we got some bangers, right? When you get like grouped monsters, all this stuff might matter. Like you could probably run thunder element a little bit more than the other ones, because there's a lot of monsters that are weak to it, such as Chatakabra, Balahara, Doshiguma, Harobami, the purple flying monster, Nursilla, Uthuna, Rathalos, Rathian, and Yankatku. All those monsters are weak to thunder. And I say it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I think it's on the weaker end of A compared to other elements, and we'll get into that point why. The reason why, for one, it's a bad element. Well, the one monster that it's weak for, like, is Uthuna. Like you would run the thunder element against Uthuna, but there's a but. It's only weak to its head, and when it has its veil up. Other than that, like you could run fire or like any other element like dragon, for example, and you'll do probably even better than running thunder personally. So I'm gonna put it at A. It's a little bit better because it has more monsters that are weak to it. For water, water, which there's what's the monster called? Ray Dow. Ray Dow is weak to water, but he's also weak to another element. But I can't put this element high. I'm gonna put it here. Ice, 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 ice. I'm gonna put in the average tier. Well, I'm gonna put it on the lower side of the average tier because, well, there's a few monsters that's weak to it, but there's not too many that you would probably want to fight, except for like maybe two of them, or three actually. There's three monsters, so that there's not many of them, but I wouldn't run ice for the most part because I think fire is still better, and I also still think water is better. But ice, Ray Dow is weak to ice, pretty hard. So if you want to run ice against Ray Dow, maybe. But like I said, the motion values right now are kind of bugged. So maybe when they fix that, maybe make your ice build. They have Gravios. Gravios is extremely weak to ice, so that would be really good. Still, I would say weaker than fire though. Overall, more monsters are weak to fire on average than ice. We have Yankatku, Gypsaros. We have Fulgur Anjanath and Zue, the octopus thing, with the big alien head. We have Zue. He's weak to water too, extremely hard on this head. But that's only like a few monsters that you'll probably want to fight in the end game that are, acceptable to that. I would still think fire is better, water is better, thunder is better. And now for the best like damage type element. It's definitely dragon. I don't know. It's definitely dragon. Like you'll get a really good weapon. Like most weapons on average at the end of the game, probably want to build Arkvild's weapon. Arkvild's weapon has a decent amount of dragon and a decent amount of base raw. So this is gonna be probably like your go-to element. A lot of the monsters, like you could damn near say every single monster is one star weak to dragon. I don't think there's a single monster immune. Maybe someone can correct me in the comment section, but I don't think there's a single monster immune to dragon. They're all somewhat weak to it. Rathios and Rathian, they're weak to thunder, but they're also weak to in the head and the wings. They're also extremely weak to dragon. Poison. Buns. I think poison is buns. It only does 15 damage. With duration, it lasts for a bit, but it's not enough. I think the poison damage is extremely lacking, and I think they should, if they can somewhat try to scale it with the amount of poison that you have. So if I have 400 poison and it takes 10% of that for its true value, if I poison a monster, then it does 40 damage a tick, right? So the more poison you have, the better the tick rate is going to be, and there should be definitely a skill that increases the damage of the poison. And for Ray, the poison skill, it's kind of mid right now. It's kind of mid. I heard it was really good with the content creators who got the game early, but after one of the updates, or the first update for the game releasing, they said that you only need like, you probably don't even need any point of it or whatever, because they changed it. But poison, extremely mid, extremely ass, extremely buns. It's not even mid, it's buns. Needs looking at personally. Sleep, also pretty buns, unless you're coordinating. If you're coordinating, I'll switch this up. I'll switch it up. The reason why I'm switching it up is because no, because you can do pretty good burst damage with sleep if you coordinate it. And that's just like damage uptime. Like if you set this up and you can put the bombs down, like, yeah, overall you're gonna do more damage because of the bombs and everything. Yeah, poison is bullet buns. Sleep is better than poison, to be honest with you, like way better. Blast. Blast. Blast is kind of solid. Blast is kind of solid. If you can proc it a lot, you do 150 flat. Um, and depending on how fast you proc it, dictates, how much uptime you have. I can see Blast being pretty strong in the future if they were to just increase something, right? But I think Blast is solid. It's definitely better than Poison, that's for sure. And the number one status in the game is Paralyzed. It's a parameta. No, era. It's a para era. You feel me? It's a para era, guys. It's a freaking para era. You just make you a paralyzed weapon, build like max attack, right? Build max attack on your Ardian weapons. Build crit like maximum might. Get that 30% base if your weapon doesn't consume much stamina. Get that 30% base. Stack up weakness exploit or agitator or whatever. Try to get like 80% to 100% crit. Man, and just basically just run crit with a nice raw with white sharpness. Build that paralyze. Stun that monster with a group or by yourself. That's just damage uptime. Man, this is definitely the best element in the game right now. There's no unless you're running like Gunlance, then you probably just want true raw. If there was a true raw status, I would true raw element, I would probably put it in B or A, like impact or something like that, like KO. I would put KO in A because KOs are all pretty good right now too. KOs, tree damage like Gunlance, power files from Switch, like they're all pretty decent. I would put that in A. Paralyze is for sure 100% the best element in the game. If you like what you just heard, be sure to like and subscribe, and for more videos. And yeah, stay awesome, stay safe. It's a para era, and peace out.